Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and Ormeus ecosystem family. Today, we're going to cover the Ormeus Reserve Vault, or ORV. And this rendition of the ORV is crucially important because this is a major upgrade, allowing our businesses that support the ecosystem to start to communicate interoperable, cross-chain, and allow them to connect together and add value to each other while bringing value to the token. The ORV 3.0 is primarily on-chain, meaning that smart contracts will interconnect all of the activities that go on inside of the business, which allow complete transparency and allow someone to go and track every single transaction on Etherscan or on the Bitcoin blockchain to view exactly what's happening with the Ormeus Reserve Vault, which is extremely exciting. Now, this conversation has been going on for multiple years. The idea of building something that has a true asset value at the same time as building an asset behind the asset to support the value of the asset has been a long, ongoing conversation. Not only with our ecosystem, but the idea of the gold standard. This ecosystem's reserve vault is like the gold standard for our cryptocurrency. And it's even better than just a traditional gold standard because a gold standard still only allows 1 unit of value for 1 unit of value. This ecosystem and this component of the ecosystem actually allows it to where the business behind the ecosystem can grow exponentially. And as that business grows, it can continue to support the asset value of the tokens and all the interconnected tokens throughout the entire ecosystem. So there has been a ton of thought going into this process. And in the last 4 years, we've been heavily developing the thought process, the layout, the functionality. And at the time of building the story and the concept, the technology wasn't quite there yet to deliver everything that we were communicating about. We knew that the technology would eventually catch up to the conversation. And that makes it a prophecy if you look at exactly how we laid this all out, because we knew that eventually there would be enough technology to fulfill what it is that we were communicating about. And the concept and idea of cryptocurrency being a fully transparent, sovereign financial system is now becoming a pure reality with the Ormeus ecosystem. So let's dive right in. And this is a beginning of a series of videos that will explain the different components of the Ormeus ecosystem. And you guys have seen some of the conversations we've had on Ecosilium, and that product is a day away from launching. So it's a very exciting time to be a part of the Ormeus Reserve system. We've built a great community. We've built out some excellent technology. And this next rendition of our technology is going to take us to a completely, fully transparent place. The place we've been desiring to go to since our project started. But now the technology has caught up to the conversation. So let's dive right in. And we'll break this down in details. I'll go as slow as possible to make sure that everybody fully understands what I'm saying and how the intricacy of some of these technologies work together. I know that this is a complicated conversation, but we'll try to make it as simple as possible to allow you to fully understand. So let's dive right in. First of all, everything started with the Reserve Vault itself. The core foundation is the idea of mining, trading, or utilizing an asset to grow a value of the centerpiece of the entire ecosystem. And as I said, allowing these businesses to interconnect and work cross-chain, interoperable, so that they can all work together to continue to increase the asset value of the business itself. Now, this business is a DAO. It's a decentralized autonomous organization. That means that there is no central figurehead that controls every aspect of the business. It is done by a governing board, and it's been operated this way for the last few years as we built this technology out. We built out the DAO first and built out the community, and now that community actually owns the assets that we're building. Every single token has a value linked to the assets that are building throughout the entire ecosystem, because a percentage of the businesses that are functioning behind the scenes for the Ormeus ecosystem all go back to support the values of the token. So Ormeus Coin, Eco, OMC all interconnected and interoperability functioning as a team of tokens that support the value of the businesses, at the same time having these businesses behind the tokens to support the value of the tokens. So with all this being done, and some of them being on separate chains, we had to develop something that would bring everything together. And that's where Ecosilium comes into place. Now, we're a day away from the launch of Ecosilium, so it's a very busy and a very exciting time. But this technology is a game changer as we know it. We've now been able to utilize something called DeFi, or decentralized finance. And by utilizing that, we can connect smart contracts into our crypto portfolio and utilize on-chain trading on DEX exchanges to make higher profits, and then take those returns and enhance the entire asset value of the entirety of the ORV, making it more profitable to work on chain and to function on the Ethereum smart contract, and completely transparent. So Ecosilium, we went through some details on this, and you can watch the video on Ecosilium to understand that completely, but it's a DeFi smart contract system that allows us to trade on chain. And then what we do is we take the profits from Ecosilium and compound them, and then take the profits from Ecosilium and take a percentage and take them into the crypto market and purchase back the tokens and create liquidity for each one of the token pairs. So how that works, it starts with Ecosilium. The profits go from Ecosilium, then 60% of the profits go to compounding, which means it's building a larger asset in order to support the buyback and liquidity. And then the other 40% go into the crypto portfolio, which is then ran through the Ormeus Reserve Vault and ran into the actual buyback liquidity. So when it hits exchange, this is done on a DEX platform. So this is actually supporting liquidity, and it's done on these decentralized exchanges, allowing the system to function on chain, on contract. We're taking through that yield farming smart contract and running that volume into a buyback bot. The buyback bot will go on exchange and purchase on a consistent basis as profits continue to grow from the yield farming, and those purchases are going directly back into the reserve vault. So now we're consuming the value of the token off the marketplace, and when consuming the units of value, that creates a scarcity in the marketplace, and eventually there becomes a tipping point to where there are less tokens in the market, and the continued profit of the system continues to purchase back those tokens. So let's just spend a little bit more time on the altcoin trading aspect of this. So we take in the profits from the crypto portfolio, we bring that into a smart contract, and inside of there, we're trading on exchange utilizing something called yield farming. So this yield farming aspect is done in a decentralized fashion to where you can actually have it done from a cold storage private key wallet, so it can be done all completely in smart contract. Now we have a tool, a Oracle technology that we've built behind all of this that helps us find the best yield farming opportunities. So as this continues to grow, we're always working with the best pairs and always creating higher levels of liquidity for the entire ecosystem in order to buy back the tokens from the marketplace itself. So people always ask how that system completely works. So that gives you an idea of how the base functionality of that Ecosilium comes into place, creates value, creates a asset, creates a profitability scenario through yield farming. Inside of that yield farming scenario, we take the profits from that, we take 60% of it, and we turn it to compounding, and we take 40% of it, we run it into our crypto portfolio. From those profits, we utilize the asset of the buyback of the bot technology that buys back off the market, and then the compounding effect continues to run up and to continue to compound. Now, compounding is continually happening, so trading is also continually happening, utilizing that yield farming smart contract. As that compound is continuing to grow, when that hits a point of 2 times in value, so that 60% becomes 120%, we take another 20% of that and feed it back through the ecosystem. So this is all done on chain. So that means that there is continually a feeding process in order to support the value of the tokens, running back through the buyback liquidity, running back the liquidity on exchange. And that's not where it stops. That's the beginning of the ecosystem, the functionality of how it flows in and out. And Ecosilium becomes a very strong component of this conversation. Extremely strong in the sense that it is a powerhouse of DeFi technology. It allows people to be able to trade and make a profit from their own device without having to make any decisions. They just set their tokens in their wallet, connected to the Ecosilium platform, and all of our technology in the behind the scenes does all the work to make sure that this asset increases in value, giving you a solid return, rate of return and interest on your assets themselves, and then feeding back profits into the entire ecosystem. And those profits are now again utilized to come back to the market and support the buyback and support liquidity on DEX exchanges. So building this into a DEX platform and having the decentralized exchange option allows us to do a lot of things that we weren't able to do before. There was not enough liquidity before DeFi existed to do everything completely on chain. But now there is, because of the advent of things like Uniswap or Mooniswap or 1inch. This allows trading to happen on exchange on smart contract. So on-chain trading is what decentralized exchanges allow. So because of that, all of these smart contracts can now interact to create liquidity pools, not only for our token, but also participate from the yield farming aspect of other tokens to push more liquidity into our ecosystem. And how this breaks down is we take 20% of the resource assets and we put into the Eco Reserve Vault. This is buyback for Eco. We take the other 10% and purchase Ormeus coin. Some people may ask, why is the Eco buyback more than the Ormeus coin buyback? Well, from this entire ecosystem, this is not taking away what Ormeus coin currently has. This is an upgrade of what Ormeus coin has. So we're utilizing 20% of the assets that are coming from the Ecosilium platform as they are compounded and as they continue to compound to buy back the Eco token and 10% for the Ormeus token. Ormeus still has its original functionality where 20% of the mining profits are going and purchasing Ormeus. This is actually adding Eco to the entire Reserve Vault system. And because it's a platform token, there has to be a high percentage of purchase in order for the token to help increase value. So 20% on the Eco side, 10% on the Ormeus side from the Ecosilium platform buyback, all being done on exchange. And now the compounding effect makes it to where that 20 and 10% that goes between those two tokens is actually more than the amount that is actually being given out as rewards. Even though that the rewards are very handsome and generous, this system, because the amount of volume, the amount of assets that are being built up, and because of the compounding effect, those percentages actually are higher than the amount that are actually distributed. So that allows it to where we can reduce circulation. And if the circulation isn't being reduced, the price is being increased because the price is higher. So that means that the assets that come through the door and through the system now have the opportunity to compound in the background. And every time it hits that 2x, it kicks out that 20% to run back through this entire ecosystem. A couple of renditions and a couple of rotations of that entire process, and you have something building out an extremely strong value. Now, of course, our mining system is still functioning, and we are planning on scaling and enhancing that to the next level. And we have some major decisions to make over the next few weeks here on how that scales. And that's going to be a DAO decision. It's something that our community is going to help support the top level of community to start. And when our DAO rolls into place completely, all of those types of decisions will be done on chain. So the Ecosilium system runs through this entire process every time that a transaction occurs on Ecosilium. So that means that you're going to be able to follow and see these transactions happening live on chain as they go through, create profits, and bring back to the asset value of the Ormeus tokens. So Ormcoin, as you know, only has 200 million total supply forever. And the circulating supply is much less than that. But forever, that will be the total amount that there will ever be. So those tokens obviously are extreme gems. They are help unlock a key, and each one of our coins working together become what we would call our DAO token. And I'll spend a little bit more time on that in the couple of slides from here. But for now, to talk about these tokens together, these two are flagship driving force tokens. Eco is the front of the line. This is pushing volume into the entire ecosystem using Ecosilium. And Ormeus being our core token that has developed and built out this solid reserve vault of an asset value, you've got your something that can drive the marketplace at the same time as you've got something that is building a really strong, solid, stable asset. So this part of the ecosystem, hopefully this helps you understand a little bit better on how Ecosilium will support the Ormeus token and also support the Eco token to grow in asset value. With what we have put into the system so far, this compounding effect and this driving force is something that is going to duplicate by itself because of the fact that it's already started. So there's already an amount of funds in the system driving this first force forward. So the functionality is happening of it. Now what happens with the ORV 3.0 is that functionality is being built on chain. So being able to have it on chain, that transparent view, you'll be able to see every single aspect of the entire functionality cross-chain on the Etherscan, on the Bitcoin blockchain, on the BAP2 chain with Eco, and the ERC20 chain with Ormeus. So you'll see all of this happening now live in real time and it completely transparent on chain, allowing you to fully grasp, and seeing this layout hopefully helps you put it in your mind to understand that these businesses are all functioning to support each other. And when you have the amount of liquidity that exists now in the DEX platforms like Uniswap, which you guys will see the liquidity pool that we've created there, it is substantial to say the least, and it is bigger liquidity than has ever been for any of our tokens since we started. So now having larger trading volume, and just go have a look at Uniswap and you'll see what I mean. Look for Eco. It's the first liquidity pool that's built, and you'll see that we are building extremely strong trading liquidity pools at the same time as building extremely strong values of the tokens themselves. So last but not least is OMC Go and the Ormeus Cash token. OMC Go is currently in a heavy beta process. We're building out and basically testing all of the technology to make sure that everything is functioning on the app itself. That testing phase is rigorous and will go on for the next few weeks before we actually go into a pre-launch phase. Today, we're focusing completely on Ecosilium, getting that completely done, and there's so many intricate aspects of that, but OMC Go is a business by itself that is absolutely exciting and amazing. So to talk about a little bit how that system functions, it flows back into the OMC minting vault, and it flows back into the OMC stablecoin. So OMC is becoming a stablecoin, and currently the current version of OMC is a ERC20 that is made on chain, and that ticket, that one ERC20 token, is going to be traded for a stable token. How that's going to happen is every time that a transaction occurs on chain throughout the OMC system, the OMC Go system, there will be a token minted for fees. And the token that's minted is OMC stable. The other thing that's important to understand that is coming here in the near future is Equalizer. Equalizer is a part of OMC and a part of the Ecosilium system, and there will be a pair inside of Ecosilium called the Equalizer pool. And those Equalizer pools will be OMC to USDT. And when someone puts funds into that pool, they're able to take the OMC that they have on exchange, pull it off exchange, put it into Ecosilium, match it with dollars, and put it in for a time period. And in that time period, it is going to convert their token, no matter what it is in the marketplace, 1-for-1 for one stable dollar valued OMCS, which is what the minting system will be building. So that will accelerate the minting process and take it to where the numbers that need to be put out to mint this extremely effective, highly traded stablecoin, because it will be extremely effective and highly traded because of the fact that you have a front-end driving system for the stablecoin. It's the only stablecoin that has a built-in mechanism for onboarding extremely exciting. I will spend a ton of time on that when we roll that out. We'll also create simple videos that explain each individual part of that as well. And like I said earlier, all of the stuff I just went through is going to be broken down in separate components and separate videos, explaining the percentages of how the entire system functions, how the buyback bot functions, how the 20% goes from compounding, how it builds out and creates this amazing, powerful business that has tokens that are attached to it. So building this all together is been my passion and dream to build something like this to where that we could create sovereign money, allowing people to basically stop thinking about the bank is where you keep your funds. You keep your funds in your private wallet and then you attach them to amazing DeFi platforms. And we have a platform that keeps you safe and secure at the same time allowing you to earn an interest from your funds. So we've also, of course, built Pragma. Pragma is the technology. We have not minted the token or built out the technology, but everything is interlinked to function back to the Pragma Foundation. So the token is under development and will be developed probably first or second quarter of next year. But all the resources and all the aspects and everything that we're building entirely is flowing back to Pragma. The foundation and the setup of this is the heart of our business. To be able to build something that your businesses and all of your life work can go back and support something that is bigger and more important than yourself has been a dream of mine ever since I was a little kid. So as growing this out, it's been able to build a business now that has the ability to change the world. And all of these businesses, because this is a DAO, these were not developed to make one individual wealthy. These were developed to help share wealth and to build a beautiful concepts into place. And in the case of Pragma, to eliminate death from starvation. And we have now the ability, because we have some great businesses and great technology, to be able to do that. We've done some great work already in the multiple locations that Pragma supports, but with all of this coming together, we're able to do a lot more. So there's going to be some new work and new videos and things done for Pragma, and you can see some of the work that's going on behind the scenes. And as this system continues to grow, you'll see the inflows, and you'll also be able to see all of that on chain, the profits that go out of the ecosystem into the Pragma ecosystem, allowing it to help families, allowing it to feed children, and really putting water in places where there's not clean water. So changing the world. So when you have something like this, it's something that it can be completely cherished. And we've been building this now for the last 4 years, really. When you think about it, the foundation, the idea was a year before we even launched the original tokens was the concept of all of this. So this is something that is completely near and dear to my heart. It is my life work. So when I look at all of this, I get passionate about it and I get excited because I know what is going to happen in the marketplace of cryptocurrency in the future. Adoption will occur. Tokens will, the amount of assets that are going to flow into cryptocurrency is going to be quite dramatic. And when you have built a system, it's like building a railroad to where your location is. And we're building this extremely strong pipeline and railroad to be able to bring everybody with us. We built this chain that has the ability to have as many people as we want on it because we built a strong ecosystem. To do this all for myself independently, I could trade all and do this just myself individually. But what good is that if we can't give back to the world? If we can't build something like Pragma, if we can't have something like Ecosilium to where we allow other people to participate the same thing in the same aspect of this without having to be super educated in cryptocurrency, without having to come from a specific part of the world, there's no respecter of people at all in the ecosystem. It just allows everybody to be able to participate and share and work together and let the functionality of this railroad system that we've built, this high-end technology, serve you and serve your family. Let Ecosilium build an asset for your family. Let that asset become bigger and bigger as the compounding system grows. Take and hold the asset in your wallet, in a smart contract, on the platform. Make that your new savings account because you think about it, the banks are never going to pay you the interest that you deserve. They're just not in, they don't have the idea and the mindset to do anything like this for the individual. But the Ormeus ecosystem has things set up to make it simple for the average person to be able to participate in these financial tools. And I have another exciting announcement for you, ladies and gentlemen. as you're building something dramatic like this, something that is extremely powerful, and there's a lot of finances that are going into it, and there's a lot of money being built, you run into all different types of unsavory characters. And what we've done to eliminate the issue of the unsavory characters, we can just call them the dumb, we replaced them with smart contracts. And we went on to even further by auditing those smart contracts. So if you were involved in the process of anything of building Ormeus ecosystem and you're not here now, it's probably because you were replaced with the smart contracts. So replace the dumb, with smart contracts and then audit those smart contracts. So my announcement is we have passed our first audit. So today I've been fully audited on our initial smart contracts with John Wick. John Wick is a security labs out of China. They are a high-level smart contract security company. And the announcement that we're going to make on Tuesday is going to blow your mind with who we have auditing the completion and the rest of our smart contracts. It's one of the biggest audit firms in the entire world, and we'll save that announcement for Tuesday. But it's extremely exciting to be able to work with these high-level security audit scenarios. Anyone that builds a DFLAG platform and does not have themselves in front of the platform showing that it is fully transparent and doesn't have it completely audited just doesn't care. They're just there for the short term. Whenever there's a lot of money around, greed and all those types of things, envy and pride and all those things fall into place. But a smart contract has none of those erroneous zones. So when you have built a system that is completely transparent and then you fully audit it, you protect your users individually and allow the smart contracts to make the decisions so there's never any time for greed, and you fully audit that process, you build something that is completely sustainable for the long term. And that's what we have here. We've built an entire ecosystem that is fully audited, soon to be audited by one of the top 5. You will be blown away with the fact that we have such an amazing audit company going in and checking every single one of these smart contracts, validating all the information that I shared with you on a full-blown audit stance, putting their seal of approval, putting their logo and stamp on our platform because we've completed and passed all these audit tests. All the audit tests will become public domain, so you'll be able to actually go see the audit contract number, and you'll be able to see the smart contract specifically itself and how it fully functions. And just wait for Tuesday's update, which is the day of our launch, and you'll see how everything is fully functioning. The first most important component of our smart contract is the financial system, and those are the first audits that are complete. The next audits will take weeks to complete, and they're done by the biggest names in the industry. So that's my short presentation for you, ladies and gentlemen, and I just want to welcome you to Ecosilium. There is a compensation structure that we've built for Ecosilium. And we'll have a separate call that go through in detail, recorded so that you can see exactly how that compensation and referral system works. So not only now can you use this for yourself, but store money on your own wallet safely, securely, but you'll also be able to refer it to friends, family members, people you don't know, and have the ability to earn a profit revenue stream all from all of this absolutely amazing technology put together with a solid core values and written onto code to where there's no greed, there's no envy, there's none of those erroneous zones built into it. It's a smart contract to replace the dumb, Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and have an amazing day. And wait for Tuesday's update, wait for the launch on Tuesday, get ready, prepared, make sure you have your assets set in place, build out your new savings account, build out a sovereign wealth system. I cannot say this enough, but sovereign wealth is the key. Individually attached to your wallet address and to your private keys of your device, it is yours. If you're the one that holds the keys, it's sovereign to the individual that holds the keys. It could be yourself, it can be a family member, it could be your puppy, your dog. It doesn't make any difference. The sovereignty is in the keys itself. We are launching a debit card to attach to this platform first quarter of 2021. That debit card will give you the access to use Visa, MasterCard, wherever you can use a Visa, MasterCard, 50,000 locations for ATMs around the world. With OMC Go, with the adoption of building out this entire ecosystem, we've completed it. We've built the pipeline, we've built the train, we've got the carts ready to go. You just have to fill it for the people that you care about and bring it to the promised land of financial freedom. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and you all have an amazing day. Speak soon.